Now, what if Tony Stark, of course, the scientist who actually is Iron Man in the comic books, what if he told you that the greatest threat to humanity was a supervillain named artificial intelligence, AI? Well, the real life Tony Stark, as Defense One points out, is Elon Musk, and he has said exactly that. He said in a tweet today, he said, "It's worth reading Superintelligence by Bostrom. We need to be super careful with AI. It is potentially more dangerous than nukes." And of course, the book that he's referring to is Superintelligence, Paths, Dangers, and Strategies. Now, we hear all the time from Ray Kurzweil and other people who are very excited about what they call the singularity, where we merge in part or in whole with machines. We hear all the time about how wonderful AI is going to be. But at the same time, they will admit that there is a possibility that this intelligence may go its own way and have no use for us or actually become malevolent towards us. And this is something that a research fellow at the Future of Humanity Institute said. He had this interesting point. He said, an AI might want to do certain things with matter in order to achieve goals. Things like building a giant computer or other large-scale engineering projects. Those things might involve intermediary steps like tearing apart the Earth to make huge solar panels. A superintelligence might not take our interests into consideration in those situations, just like we don't take root systems or ant colonies into account where we go to construct a building. And I would say it's not too much unlike the elitist attitude of tyranny that we see from the globalist elite towards us, is it? They don't really take our interest into effect when they have a project that they want to do, whether it's something as prosaic as NAFTA and trade sections in North America, then joining these trade sections to Asia, to Europe, and to a one-world government. They don't really take our interest into account either. So I'm not sure. Maybe it won't be that much different than the current situation we have right now. Later this week, there's going to be a Black Hat seminar in Las Vegas. Now, that's a time when hackers get together and talk about vulnerabilities in systems. And of course, it's not really clear. Some of these guys are trying to stop these types of things from happening, but there is a huge presence at this convention always with the U.S. intelligence system looking to find people that they can hire as hackers to break into your equipment. Now, a couple of things have come out. One of them that's going to be presented this week, and it's reported in RT today, airplanes could be taken over through in-flight entertainment systems, claims a hacker. Now, actually, he's with a cybersecurity firm, IO Active, and he's going to be presenting a talk which says SATCOM terminals, hacking by air, sea, and land on Thursday. And he says he's going to demonstrate how satellite communication systems used by the likes of commercial airlines and oil rigs can be infiltrated by malicious actors and altered to let unauthorized attackers take control. In other words, they could, using a satellite communication system, take over an airplane, fly it wherever they wish. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Or they could take over a ship and fly it into wherever they wish. And he says that devices sold by the world's leading SATCOM vendors contain substantial security flaws. And the quote is, he says, 100% of those devices could be abused. Another reporter for Reuters writes that these exploits may allow anyone with the right information to hack satellite communications used on passenger jets, gaining access through in-flight services provided to civilian passengers. In theory, a hacker could use a plane's onboard Wi-Fi signal or the in-flight entertainment system to hack into its avionic equipment, potentially disrupting or modifying satellite communications, which could interfere with the aircraft's navigation and safety systems. Now, it's not just that, but in a more prosaic way, even your car, of course, is vulnerable to these types of hacks. Anything that is part of what they call the Internet of Things. And you remember a few years ago, David Petraeus said, we're going to be able to listen to people through their home appliances. Well, that's now not so much of a reach as we understand. This is an article from Wired Magazine. It says, watch this wireless hack pop a car's locks in minutes. And what they show is a guy who essentially has a wireless lockpick for a car. He can basically break into this thing in just a short amount of time and get into the car without using any of the traditional burglary tools. This is something that really ought to concern you if you're going to buy this line that's being fed to everyone about how safe computer-driven cars are going to be. Now, they like to call them self-driving cars. Computer-driven cars are going to be driven by computers, by the people who write the algorithms. And of course, there will be some safety issues with those because they are not 100% accurate, as anyone who's ever used software understands, as anyone who has ever used their GPS systems understands. But they are also vulnerable to malicious attacks from either hackers or from the government itself. And we found out just last week that the FBI said that they were concerned about possibly having car bombers take over remote-controlled vehicles, laying the groundwork for the idea that the FBI ultimately, or the federal government homeland systems, need to control your car and not you. They're talking about cars that won't have steering wheels, cars that won't have brakes. So keep that in mind as you watch this wireless hack of a car's security system that only takes a few minutes. Now, if you're not a supporter of Prison Planet TV, we would like for you to consider supporting our operation. Of course, one membership can be shared with up to 11 people simultaneously, giving you access as it happens to every night's nightly news and access to all of Alex Jones's fine documentaries. Now, right after the break, stay with us. Alex is going to be talking about, of course, the open borders and the effect that has on the concerns about Ebola. Stay with us.
City of Austin tap water versus filtered City of Austin tap water.
I can taste dirt in it.
God knows what's in this.
This has an aftertaste.
Tastes like Austin water? Yeah, it does. Ugh.
These people just sampled City of Austin tap water straight from the faucet. Next, we had them try a sample of tap water filtered through the ProPure G2.0 filtration system.
High quality H2O.
That one is better.
Tastes like nothing.
Yep, I know what good water tastes like. It's good water.
Most tap water contains added substances like fluoride, chlorine, Monsanto's deadly pesticide, glyphosate, and many others. Studies prove that these substances are linked to an assortment of major health issues, including tooth decay, lowered IQ, and even cancer.
It tastes like you're drinking out of the lake when you're drinking tap water.
Yeah, it has that processed flavor to it.
The ProPure G2.0 filtration system removes these deadly substances and many more, leaving only fresh-tasting, deliciously clean water.
Okay, this is very tasty.
It's good water.
Refreshing.
It's good.
Go to InfoWarsStore.com today. Use promo code WATER and save 10% off your ProPure purchase. Again, that's InfoWarsStore.com or call 1-888-253-3139.